Now, what do you think is stopping mankind from, why are we so stopped in this?
Well, Jung again said that the larger the organization, the more the behavior of the individual is like a vicious animal. And so you see all these CEOs who say, we got to make more money, the hell with people.
Yes.
So we depersonalize, we become interested in the business, ourselves, you know, that type of thing. And I have to say, honestly, that I try to help people. I'm interested in people. But it's how we're brought up. I mean, all my books are here. Yeah. Love, Magic, and Mud Pies, you see.
Now, this one I wasn't aware of before.
This is about parenting, and I'll tell you why I wrote it. Raising your kids to feel love, be kind, and make a difference. Did your parents love you?
Not in the way I needed.
I'm just asking a yes or a no. Did your parents love you? You would have said yes. All right. Harvard students were asked that. Those who said yes, when you looked them up 35 years after graduation, 1 out of 4 approximately had suffered a major illness. If they said no, 98% had suffered a major illness. Okay. So that's why if every kid grew up loved, what a different world we'd have. You see, because when do you take care of yourself? When you have self-worth, self-esteem, self-love. You don't become 700 pounds, a drug addict, you know, smoking. You don't need those things, and because you're not searching for feelings in an unhealthy way, you don't have to reward yourself, and you're also saying to yourself, hey, that's not good for me, you know? Wow. I love myself. Yeah.
That's
now,
huge.
Let me add this. I always say to people, I'm not talking about doing things to not die, because the bitterest people in heaven are the vegetarian meditating, you know, joggers. They wish they slept late.
Yeah, the joggers never smile when they're running.
I know. They don't. I mean, I've done a lot of running.
Do you run now?
I bike now. I got tired of running. I mean, I love, you know, you can cover more grounds with the bike.
Yes,
and
the biking is fun.
I walk with all our dogs miles also. But yeah, I look people in the eye, and it's rare for them. You know, most of them, or are they busy listening to something? Yeah, and for me, the walks and the bike rides are meditation.
Yes,
I want to be with my thoughts. I'm not afraid of what comes up, and it could be painful, but I'm going to deal with it, yeah.
Well, that's interesting that you even say that, because people, they're in this beautiful, they're in nature, they're alone, and they're bombarding themselves with these audio sounds, and it's just so distracting.
One of the people I often talk about was a landscaper named John Florio. He lived in Orange, and he had a cancer of the stomach I couldn't cure, and I've written about him because he refused treatment. When I said to him, you need more treatment, he said, no, it's springtime. I think if it had been December, he'd be dead today. But he said, it's springtime, I'm going to go home and make the world beautiful. So when I die, I will leave a beautiful world. See? Again, he's not trying not to die. Yeah. And 4 years later, he showed up in the office, quote, I have a hernia from lifting boulders in my landscape business. Because I thought he was dead. He never came back. But he became my teacher. So you took a walk with John, the world became beautiful. I mean, wild flowers, you know, some of them little things, he'd say, look at it, ooh. And so I began to see things. When I'd be out running, I'd be picking weeds. People would say, what are you doing? Do you see how pretty this is? I'm bringing it home.
Are you a photographer by any chance?
I did that too, yeah.
Because I'm
a painter. I paint portraits,
really?
Yeah. But again, I learned as a painter, you see things other people don't see.
Yes, and a
the
photographer.
Same with photography.
You know,
so when I couldn't paint, I would take pictures. Yeah.
And it's like there's a psychology to seeing, and there's a place in Brantford called the Supply Pond, and there's a lot of weeds there at first blush. But when you look at that and you get into it and you see the beauty of the weed and maybe a bumblebee going on that.
And people. Let me finish with this. John died at age 94 with no sign of cancer.
What age did he come to you at? Do you remember?
He must have been in, I would say, he was about 70, 65, 70, because he was going to retire. So, yeah, I was at his 70th wedding anniversary, because I said, I got to come and talk about what you taught me.
Wow.
Yeah, he died at 94. When his wife died, it was like, okay, I can go now.
Yes.
But the beauties, I found myself when I was painting, I'd get in an elevator and drive people crazy, because, you know, I'd be looking, and one of the things, like black skin, it's not black. There's so many beautiful colors in it.
Tones.
Yeah.
Beautiful
and even
tones.
white isn't white, you know. So I'd be in the elevator, and people would like, "Is something wrong?" I'd say, "Oh,
You should wear
I'm
your
sorry."
belt.
Yeah. Well, I'd say, "I'm sorry." I mean, you know, your skin is so interesting, and I'm pain. And then they'd like forgive me because it made them so nervous.
Yes,
because you know, you get in an elevator, everybody's
no one talks and looks at each other.
Yeah.
But you know, I noticed when you came in, you had this belt that says Bernie.
Right.
So if you just put "Hi, I'm Bernie Siegel, world famous," they'll let you look at them.
The one place I learned to not wear my label, because I've run several marathons, you know, to help raise money for various things, and one year I had a shirt with my name on it, and I realized don't ever do that again, because nobody lets you slow down or walk. You know, I'm getting tired, and they yell, "Bernie, go, get going." And it's like, leave me alone, I'm tired.
I'm tired. I wanted to ask you, you said you were an artist.
Yeah.
Have you ever illustrated any of your books? Because
No.
this book is, now, why not?
I don't know, because I've never thought about it, you know, because I think most of the publishers and others would think, you know, you may be an artist, but are you an illustrator? So I've never thought of it as doing it for my own.
Because I would love to see you
consider it. But they send it to. They do let you look at it, you know, because in this one, which is based on a true story of a rabbit we rescued, my wife and I, you know, we sent her pictures. Let me see. There's a page where, when we rescue her, that they show us. Yeah, that's where the rabbit gets dumped. Wait a minute, we're getting close. Yeah, here we are, say.
There you are.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because, you see, even, I mean, we rescued this black rabbit, and my wife said, you know, just called it Smudge. And so it became Smudge Bunny.
Let me just put it over here so the camera can catch it.
Her sister was Snowflake, because it was a white rabbit.
Now, I read a comment on the internet about you. Someone said your house is like a zoo.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of animals have you had?
We've had goats, ducks and geese, something called the kinkajou, monkeys, a skunk that was deskunked, a snake called Monty Python, a rat, and you know, gerbils, hamsters. I mean, it's the only house I know of where when a mouse runs through the living room, it's you know, it's out of the cage, you know, and nobody gets upset. We had something called the Jackson's chameleon, and in the kids' bedrooms, I had dead trees, and we had them living in them. I mean, these were not all caged creatures. I mean, babysitters would go bananas because they'd scream and run. It was hard to get them to stay in the house because you see a snake coming down the hallway. I mean, the snake was usually in a fish tank. But every now and then it would get out, and you know, the babysitters.
You had dead trees in the
room. So these, you know, chameleons, lizards type things, reptiles could live in, you know, in a natural way in it. Yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting.
And
I teach school, and I think I'll mention that to our children to tell their mothers to put that in the room.
See, what you need to do is get one for the classroom, and plants too, because what keeps you alive? Your connections. So in a nursing home, when people were given a plant to take care of, they lived 5 to 7 years longer than people across the hall who were told we're decorating your room. See, you have to water it and give it sunshine. And what I find in these classrooms is have plants and have some pets there. And then when there's a weekend or a vacation, somebody takes it home. And it teaches them about life, you know, and a reverence for life.
It does.
So our kids literally carried insects out of the house. It used to drive me nuts. You know, I wanted to go, you know, kill something that could, you know, like a mosquito or a hornet. They'd say, "No, Dad," and they would carry it outside and let it go.